Speedy, I've heard you're good. Real good.
Robin, likewise. Great to finally meet you.
So, what are those arrows made of?
Polarized matrices of high-energy electrons?
Right. Same technology packs the punch in my electric discs. How do you overcome the quantum entanglement problem?
Borrowed some time on a prototype accelerator and generated
dude.
enough positive
Never knew Robin had a
electrons to react
clone.
so that-
Champions, round one.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the son of the Green Arrow, Kyle Charles.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. But we'll get to that later.
He is technically.
And I am the man who had the affair with the saucy seductress poisonous Cheshire, C.Y. Chung.
And this episode we're doing another character spotlight, but on a character I really like. He's gone by many names over the years.
Yep.
Speedy, Arsenal, Red Arrow, Speedy again. Depends what continuity he becomes Green Arrow. We had talked about Roy Harper.
Yeah, currently back to Arsenal.
Yeah, who's apparently dead.
Yeah. We
But
say
he's
apparently
not.
because.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just make a little bit more sense of it all first.
Yeah.
He's not the son of the Green Arrow. Technically,
No.
okay, hold on.
He's the
What's
doctor's
weird
son.
is, okay. So in the 40s, Batman's had a sidekick. Batman got a Batcave. Batman got a Batmobile. Green Arrow basically said, "I'll rip all that stuff off. Not only that, I'll rip off Robin Hood." Right?
Yeah.
I'll be an arrow-themed version of everything that Batman does, and then decide to call my sidekick Speedy, which makes no sense.
I've never understood. But then I never understood Robin either. But, hey.
No, but I get Robin because at least you can say he's a flying animal like a bat, and he's in the colours of a Robin. What colour is Speedy?
As someone who's really speedy with an arrow, see, it makes no sense. But
Yeah, did you actually read? I can't remember where I read it, but it was a joke between Wally West and Roy Harper. I can't remember if it was in the Flash or was it one of the reboots or something like that. Basically, Wally West was like, well, as Kid Flash, he was like, I wanted to be called Speedy, right?
which makes more sense.
Yeah. And I was like, why do you get to be called Speedy? I want to be called Speedy because what's that got to do with speed? And they're like, then they shrug. It's like, all right, fair enough.
It makes no sense whatsoever. But it sticks, I guess, because I know originally, I could be wrong about this. I know Green Arrow isn't an original DC character, is he? I think they bought...
What, sorry?
I think I might be getting him confused with Shazam. That he was created by another comic book company, and then DC bought them. This is like in the 40s.
Okay, so Captain Marvel, yes, that you're correct, right? I think it seemed like Green Arrow was done in a different comic. I don't necessarily think it was published by DC Comics, right?
No.
Yeah. But this is off the top of my head, so it might. Yeah.
It might be wrong, but I think that's why him and Batman are so similar. And then they just like, what's the point in changing anything? Let's just make him the poor man's Batman.
Yep.
As they're both like super rich dudes.
Yeah, the rip-off Batman because he's actually rich as well. Here's the thing: he's rich, so he can't be a poor man's Batman.
Yeah, he's right. He's the Batman's a billionaire. He's the millionaire's Batman.
Yeah.
Sense at all, but yeah.
All right, and the other thing is, of course, let's clarify: Green Arrow has two sons, but neither of them are Roy Harper.
Wait, he has two sons?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
depends.
Okay. All right. So one of them's Connor Hawke.
Yeah.
Right. Which do you know the history of Connor Hawke?
I think we spoke about this before. How it's weird and convoluted and stuff.
Well, he just was retconned to have a son that stayed his life in a monastery, and then when Green Arrow died,
he appeared.
They decided to give him the title of Green Arrow and not Roy Harper for some reason.
Because I was reading this because Roy Harper didn't want to take it up.
Okay.
It's kind of like the whole prodigal son thing.
What you mean is what you actually mean is DC wanted to introduce a new character.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Right. Because even if you're going to say they're going to continue the legacy,
Yeah.
because you had Kyle Rayner continue the legacy of Green Lantern, even though that was a bit of a different case.
Yeah.
Wally West continued the legacy of Barry Allen.
Yeah.
You had all these legacy heroes that could have done stuff, and they're just like, you know what, sorry, we'll just introduce a new character.
Yeah, less baggage, I guess, but then it brings more problems.
That's what they did with Kyle Rayner as well, because they had Guy Gardner and John Stewart.
Yeah.
Kind of. They'd been around for a bit, but and the other son that he had when he was drugged up, when he was in a kind of semi-conscious state with what's her name? That Green Arrow villain, the female with the bow and arrow.
I want to say her name's Cupid, but
not that one. Shoot.
Is this pre-52 or?
Yeah. This is pre-52.
Ah.
I think, what's the one with the girl on the island with him in the series?
Shadow.
Yeah. Had the son with her as well.
Okay.
A bastard son, because she took advantage of him, and then Black Canary blamed him.
As you do, yeah.
But to be fair, on her behalf, he's going around sleeping with a whole ton of women, right?
Yeah.
In the comics as well.
Yeah.
So her assumption is not incorrect with the evidence. It's just incorrect for that instance.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't really help when apparently he always knew that Connor Hawke was alive, but he didn't.
Yeah, and even more. But back to Roy Harper.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, so I got two actual sons, but I'll take care of you, right? And then,
Yeah. But that's kind of like Batman. Again, the similarities there, Yeah. Taking care of other people's kids except for your own, yeah.
So for whatever reason, Roy Harper, I mean, he's been around since the 40s. I don't think he's got enough credit as a...
No, he hasn't.
Yeah. Which costumes do you like the best?
I would say I like his, even though it's like sort of simple and it's just him wearing a leather jacket and army boots and stuff. No, actually no, his new 52 costume I really liked. I was gonna say his outsider costume, but no.
The black one, the black and red one.
Yeah.
See, okay, you know what's funny with the outsider's costume when I was reading it?
Yeah.
He was using guns and stuff. He wasn't an arrow-based character.
No, because at this point...
probably at that point they had loads of arrow-based characters. But what's weird is he didn't have the flavor of Roy Harper. He was like a Steve Trevor, if you know what I mean. He was like not a government spy, but it just is like his gimmick is no longer his gimmick.
Yeah, I saw it as they kind of tried to make him edgy for the time because, like you said, a lot of people had the sort of same gimmicks and stuff. So it's like, you know what? Let's have you sort of put him in that direction of being.
I do like the outsiders look combined with the. That's the best way I can put it, right? The new 52 look is sort of like the outsiders look combined with the Arsenal look.
Yeah.
With the standard red costume.
Yeah, I'll say
I have to say I don't like the Red Arrow look. It's basically Green Arrow, but Red Arrow. That's
yeah.
And he had another costume with like almost looking like an Aquaman style A at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That's
I do prefer
Titans. The first. That was when he was part of the first incarnation of Titans, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember his red and yellow look?
What, his original Speedy look, or
no? I think it was an upgrade. Because it looked like, so it's yellow shoulders and stripes with a yellow belt and a yellow kind of, I know it looks like an arrow, but not really in the center.
No, let me have a look.
Yeah. I tell you what, I did not like his purple look, because purple look just made him look like Hawkeye.
Yeah, that brief weird period in the 90s, we had that weird purple look, innit?
Yeah.
Didn't I saw that recently, I was like, I don't get this.
But I do like his
Oh, yep, that purple look is terrible, yeah.
I do like his outsiders look. It was a modernized version of what he, at the time of the New 52, what they were kind of gearing towards.
Yeah.
So it's like it worked with what his character is.
Yeah. I like that one. I also, there's that weird period in the New 52 where it was called like the DCUE or something like that. It was weird where everyone went through like a weird costume change for like 4 months, and then they went back to normal and never made any mention to this whatsoever. This was during the time when Jim Gordon became Batman.
Okay, that was like a year though. That was for a year. I mean, Jim Gordon was Batman for quite a while.
Oh, but like like during that time, other characters sort of got new costumes, and it was like weird. Yeah. And his costume then wasn't bad.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's not had great.
I'll tell you the most notable story. I don't know if you read it, right? The drug addict storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, you read it?
No, I've read the cliff notes of it.
All right. So let me just give you yeah. So so the only reason I personally think that this storyline happened was because in Spider-Man, right, they were doing a drug storyline of Harry Osborn, which made sense, right, because he's the son of a billionaire who doesn't give a crap about him, right?
Yeah.
So then he starts taking pills and drugs because he had the party life to get away from it. He gets into depressants and drugs and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then he has a drug-induced overdose, which Spider-Man then has to save him. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. It all made sense because it kind of was leading to that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. And DC's like, oh, they can use drugs now. This is obviously my one words because it's not actually. But it's like, oh, how can we make it controversial as well? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make we'll up their storyline by making one of our sidekicks / hero, like the heroes of our sidekicks, a druggie. Yes, edgy. And we'll get draw eyes to our product, right?
Yeah.
So who should we have? I just pick a random guy. And for this issue, all along he's been a druggie. Yeah.
I can put you up on that because I've did my research onto this.
Yeah.
How they kind of played it made sense. It wasn't just out of nowhere that he was a druggie. So
but when you say they retconned him into being a druggie using the evidence that they accidentally presented beforehand.
No, I kind of think it was kind of foreshadowed because the reason why he became a druggie because like the Teen Titans broke up.
Yeah.
Green Arrow was off gallivanting with Green Arrow. So Green Arrow and Green Lantern were off doing their thing. Yeah. So he just felt alone and depressed. So he started partying and then started doing drugs and boom.
Yeah, and so right. Obviously, I'm exaggerating then, or partially recollected. But the way I'm just going to make it sound even funnier than it actually is.
Yeah.
Or
but you can tell it's sort of copied from thing.
So what Green Arrow and Black Canary are busting a drug den. This dude is drawn like shady in the corner. Literally, it's in the shade, right? So you don't see who he is. And then when they get it to him. And because it's daytime, so the light's there, and they get close to him, and he sees Roy Harper. Green Arrow goes, "You bastard! You're no son of mine!" Blah blah blah. Right? Not his exact words, but basically,
but it's basically that.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, so you found out your sidekick's a druggie. For whatever reason, you're like, all right, get at my house, right? Even though he's never your house, right? Yeah. Okay.
He kicks him out and everything. You're like, this is a bit of a
No, but it's like at that point they were in the drug den, so you can't say to him, get out of my house. But yes, Black Canary is like, Oliver, you can't do this.
Yeah, it's a bit extreme,
Yeah. So she's like a stepmom to him, helping him. I don't know if at this point is she Black Canary still her own mother in her own body, into her daughter's body, or at this point they retconned her literally just to be the daughter of Black Canary.
I definitely know at this point.
But we'll just assume that Green Arrow is older than her by a good, 5 to 10 years or something. I think because that's kind of what it is.
I hope not. But
no, I think Green Arrow is meant to be in his 30s or something like that, right?
No,
she's meant to be in her mid-20s, and Arsenal, Roy Harper is in his teens.
I don't. You could be right. I've always pictured Black Canary kind of up in the years because of all she's done. Well,
I think that's also because of the age gap between her and Green Arrow. But I think they play it up in certain parts, so there is actually an age gap. Anyways, the point is, eventually he kicks the habit, and And Black Canary's like, "Oh, Roy, I knew you could do it." And then the Green Arrow's like the back there going, "Roy, I'm so proud of you," with in tears, like, "Oh yeah, well done, well done." And Roy's like, "Shut the f up."
Yeah, dude, you kicked me out. I had to go and,
What did you do, punk?
I had to go and see other people like
Yeah.
Hal Jordan and Black Canary to help me, not you, dude. Why are you?
Yeah.
What a douche.
Exactly. That was. I mean, look, it was over dramatic for the time, even, right?
Yeah.
It was trying to send a message, yeah. But at the same time, when you read it back, you're like, this behavior from the guy who's meant to be a dad.
Yeah, exactly. A guy who took you in after your real dad, and then your other adopted dad died.
Yeah.
And he took you in and, you know, made you his son, and then instead of just talking to you, sitting down like, "Hey, Roy, you have a problem. We should sort this out."
Yeah.
No, get out of my house. My son doesn't do drugs, but I can sleep with all the women I want. Yeah, you know, it's hypocritical. But, you know.
But then again, inadvertently, obviously makes you think, if this behavior is common, this is no wonder why he turned to drugs.
Yeah, exactly. But then
Inadvertent genius, I reckon, sometimes.
Yeah, because I'll give the story like the benefit, not the benefit of the doubt, but like portraying some real aspects of when parents find out their kids are on drugs, stuff like that, because this does happen in real life.
Yeah.
Rather than helping them out, it's just like, be gone, and then they wonder why their child dies or whatever. But, you know...
Yeah, exactly.
Human behaviour. You know, that's all I can really say.
I actually thought, you know, in the series, in the Green Arrow CW series, I thought, okay, so you know, at some point, Green Arrow broke Roy's leg.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the reason, right? I can't remember the exact reason, but he broke his leg to stop him.
His leg for something. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was legitimate, by the way. It wasn't like he just randomly decided to break his leg. I think he was trying to stop him walking into going somewhere to be endangered. Or was it was in a Mirakuru? He was going to try and fight Deathstroke, and then
it was the Mirakuru thing.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, he was stoked up with Mirakuru. Yeah. And then I thought, so then are they going to go into the drugstore now from here?
That's what I thought, through like painkillers, then he moves on to heavier stuff. But no.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this might be a bit spicy for the TV series they're going for. And then in the end, they just end up fobbing him off, right? And then getting Speedy.
Yeah. But then they kind of weirdly play up the drug thing for like a minute, and I think... Yeah, they play it up for like a second in a future episode. Yeah. And then I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they never touch upon it again. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so I actually did collect Red Hood and the Outlaws, which I thought was quite a well drawn title, but sometimes a bit dodgily written.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the same thing.
Yeah. I like the art of it, Ken Rockefeller's art, and then I was like, and I like the Red Hood character, right? Yeah. But they could have just done a bit more with everyone else. Yeah. Because that was like Roy Harper and Starfire, and they didn't really, you know.
Like, that's sort of my problem with the new 52 interpretation of Roy Harper. Like, he was just some dude. He was smart. Yeah. And that's about really it. It wasn't until later on when he...
And he used to be a druggie of some sort, right?
Alcoholic
and he used to be in the Titans. Yeah.
Oh, wait. He was in the Titans, but then wasn't in the Titans, and then was in the Titans because weird retcon confusion stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and... Yeah, he just seemed like a dude. Rather than... a capable guy, like they kind of promoted him to be in the pre-52. Yeah. And like even in that, when Oliver was like, he knows he's a better archer than me because you know he can do this, that, and the other, and I can't. Yeah. New 52 didn't really touch upon you, right? He was just a guy who also wore red, so let's put him in the same team as Red Hood.
Yeah.
What it was.
And I tell you what. Starfire said's kind of red. Let's just throw her in there as well.
Exactly.
Even though it's orange.
I just don't understand. But yeah, I like their friendship. The friendship Jason and Roy made for it all.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of weird because when you think about it, Roy's quite a bit older than Jason.
Well, yeah.
Originally.
Okay, hold on. Right, here's the thing. I think from continuity, they seem to be roughly the same age. Roy could probably be about 2 years old or something, but they don't seem to be that far apart in age as they would have been pre New 52.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even think they were good friends pre New 52.
No. I'd be surprised they even knew each other.
But, but you know what? They bonded over the gimmick of being the bastard sons of their fathers.
Yeah.
The redheaded stepchild.
One of them, literally, yeah.
yeah. All right, so okay. I'll tell you what I know, and you're gonna have to fill me in the details, right?
Yes, sir.
How did he get a child with Cheshire?
Okay, this happened when he was a part of the CIA, or DC's version of the CIA, which I might be the CBI, whatever.
Okay.
And
this is after. So did he join? So did his identity get exposed or what?
No, he just stopped being. Oh, he's still Speedy, but he joined. But he kind of just became Agent Roy Harper at this point.
All right.
And
they tried to give him different gimmicks to distinguish him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Fair
and
enough.
then he was in some undercover mission in I can't remember what country it was, and he met Cheshire. They kindled a relationship.
Yeah. Now, first of all, let me just say, looking at the way she's drawn in her costume, right? You'd be like, right, I can see how that happened.
Yeah. And then, they had a relationship. He had to go back. He left. Then he found out that she's a supervillain, because he didn't know.
Yeah. All right.
And he met her a year later, and she's like, oh, here's your baby. He's like, what? Haha, you'll never see her again. So then he didn't see her for a while. So then he went to his good friend Nightwing. And using Nightwing's detective skills that he learned off Batman, they found out where baby Leon was. So while they came up with a little plan, while Roy was fighting Cheshire, Nightwing kidnapped the baby and took it back to, I want to say, America. And then they went to the lawyers, and this is when Roy got sole custody of a child.
Yeah, well, I can like if they went to the lawyers, she goes, "Yo, I can take care of this child."
Like,
so exactly what is your profession, young lady? And she goes, "Well,
a little bit of this,
I make money."
Yeah.
Oh, so you're telling me, right? In this courtroom, that you make money killing people,
and you think you're fit to look after a child? Yeah.
Not only that, but you just admitted to do crime, so you need to be taken away.
And then she tried to fight it for a while, not doing the courts, obviously, trying to take the baby back. And then she realized, in my line of work, it's not good for me to have a child.
Yeah.
Maybe she should stay with you. It's like, okay, logic. Yeah. So that's how he ended up having a baby with her.
Okay, well, that kind of makes sense. And as I can say, at least it kind of makes sense. Right?
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
Heroes having kids with villains by accident. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. So can I ask before and then I'll ask you something afterwards? But is the baby in the new 52? I don't think it's been introduced yet, right?
Good question. That's a good question. Okay. As of recording this, I checked. So she did die, because remember now, everyone has their pre-52 memories, sort of.
Right.
Yep. So she did die, but she's actually alive, and she's currently, I think she's Cheshire's sidekick, but she has amnesia, so she doesn't remember anything.
How old is the baby then?
I don't know anymore, because apparently the kid should be, when she died, she was about 8.
Yeah.
So I'm confused on how old she would be now if she's someone's sidekick.
Did he use the same Wayne aging technique? Because in pre-52, he could be 10 years old or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, how can Batman have a 10-year-old kid when his career is only 5 years old? We cloned him in the chamber and artificially aged him. Yeah, okay, that'll do. League of Assassins stuff. Anyways. Okay, so this is the story as far as I know of how that the baby died, right? And then what happened to Roy Harper afterwards. I believe Prometheus was terrorizing the Justice League or somehow targeted Arsenal. I think it's because, Prometheus is having beef with Green Arrow.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
And then there was an earthquake that also was happening at the same time.
Yep.
That killed...
No, he set off an earthquake in Star City.
Yeah, something like that. And that kills that like Roy Harper went to help, and he what's it called? He went to help, and then he I can't remember who he told to stay in and guard the baby, but that person also went to help as well. Was it the new Speedy? Mia Dern,
I think it was because he had beef with her after that or something like that. Yeah.
And then Leon died in the everything on the rubble and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then Roy loses an arm somehow.
Prometheus cuts it off with some sword that puts some nanotechnology in him as well that hurts him. Yeah. Makes no sense.
Okay. And then Cyborg makes him a cyborg arm. And then there's one bit where I don't know if he's back to having the hallucination because he's run back to his drugs to numb the pain or whatever. But there's one infamous panel where he's holding the body of a dead cat with his cyborg arm in an alleyway somewhere and calling after his baby's name. Yeah. And you're like, wow, that's kind of
messed.
I get what they're going for. At the same time, it's like, yeah.
A lot of people complained about that whole Justice League Cry for Justice storyline.
It wasn't. I mean, it was well drawn.
Well, it was well drawn, but there's like some too many shock value things for no reason.
Yes, that's what it is. Shocking swerves, right?
Yeah, like
Vince Russo wrote it.
Yeah, like why kill Mark Millar? Why kill an 8-year-old kid? And and then leads Green Arrow to go and kill Prometheus. Yeah. Then he gets banished for it. It's like, but he has every reason to kill the guy. He killed his grandchild, He has every sort of reason. How?
But then again, the problem is, of course, is that Roy Harper was just victimizing all of this. It's different if Roy Harper was the one to go and kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no.
So they did them dirty, right?
Yeah, did them dirty. But then the comments that came out of it, Titans, because they shifted the Titans book towards him and him joining Deathstroke's Titans.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But then that got flack for their first issue for something they did. Where they killed Ryan Cho and then put his dead body in a matchbox.
Yeah.
Everyone complained about that. I was like...
Wait, because he was the Atom, by the way. You have to clarify that.
Yeah, he was the Atom.
They just chop up his body and just put it in a matchbox.
Yeah.
But this was also the time they got Cassandra Cain and made her evil as well somehow.
Yeah, for like 2 issues.
And then everyone's like, what is going on? I can kind of get Cyborg Roy Harper in his depression, right? Being susceptible to Deathstroke's whatever. Even if he's saying he's going to be drugged as well and afterwards to make it an easier transition, right?
Yeah.
He's not in a good state of mind.
No,
okay?
not at all.
So, if they clarify that, I can get it, right?
Yeah.
But he's just lashing out at everybody at this point. So, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh no, he's drugged as well. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But then the twist was, he actually joined Deathstroke to go undercover to stop him. So I was like, oh, okay, that last minute bit makes sense, but I don't think you intended this in the first place. But
yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. You know what I mean? So, Roy Harper, great guy.
Do you think they did the thing with Cheshire to make it like a Batman Catwoman sort of relationship stuff going on?
I don't know.
Because they do have a lot of crossover, by the way, Roy and Cheshire. Even in New 50, from the continuity since they were together, they've always kind of pulled that string across everywhere.
Yeah. Which is true, yeah, because even like except for like Arrow the show, because Yeah, it's always a string that's always been there. So you'll give him that.
I tell you what. I don't know if you read. Okay, so what series did you read Roy Harper in?
Mostly when he's been like team books.
Like, okay.
Because I don't.
So
think he's
did you
had
read the
it.
Judd Winnick run on in Outsiders?
Yeah, I read all that. Yeah, looking at it right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
So there was a line where Nightwing was saying to Roy. Okay, I think this is after Roy had slept with Huntress. Okay, and Nightwing's like, Roy, you're following Green Arrow in the bit of a
Manhole.
ways, kind of ways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like, Roy points out logic at the same time as like, okay, he goes, oh, come on, when we're surrounded by women with bodies of Olympians, right? Olympic athletes, what they want it, I want it, it's no, he's not saying it the way I said it, but he's just like, okay, women bodies of Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, you got a point, but at the same time, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Isn't the whole? I mean, you're meant to be distinguishable from Green Arrow as a character, except that you're doing exactly. I don't know if they intended to make him follow the exact same route as Green Arrow, right?
Yeah.
But he's trying not to be Green Arrow. So it's like, what's the logic in that?
There is none.
Yeah. At least we know. Well, I'll tell you what's the funny thing as well. Batman is mainly with Catwoman in his relationships, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got his other girls like Vicky Vale and Talia al Ghul, right?
Yeah.
But Nightwing as well only seems to follow his line of thinking, where he's like only entangled in more relationships that he's comfortable with, if you know what I mean, like that are going somewhere ish.
Yeah. I get that.
So you could say, I mean, as much as they're meant to be different from their mentors, they are kind of the same.
Yeah, of course. Just
So,
not
okay.
as, not I would say, more sociable. I'll say.
Well,
They
no,
are.
let's put it this way. Green Arrow is always meant to be in a relationship with Black Canary,
Yeah.
except that he always then is just sleeping around. Okay, at least Roy is not actually in a relationship with someone while he's doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though you could say he's on off with Cheshire, they're more like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll hook up where when we're around.
Yeah, but he's also on off with Donna Troy, so that's another one. Because they've nearly been.
Was that New 52?
No, it's pre-52.
Post-crisis?
All of that, yeah. Because they was dating when they was in the first Titans.
Yeah.
And then they stopped, and then they dated again.
Yeah.
And then she met that guy she married who died. And
Terry something,
Yeah.
right? With the perm
yeah,
in the 80s.
yeah. And then
Who died in a car crash
yeah.
with Donna Troy's kid.
No, it wasn't her kid. It was
Was
his.
it not her-
It was his kid. Yeah.
Oh, but
from a
not her
previous
kid.
marriage. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, get around.
Oh, you know what? It's funny because you cleared that up. I was like, how does an Amazon, can they have kids? And she is meant to be in her teens or teen titans, like early 20s or something. And
I think
he's
early 20s at that point. Yeah.
and he clearly looks like an older man.
Yeah, because I think he was her professor, which is even more questionable. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, but no. Let's pull it back a second there.
All right.
She's an Amazon who is immortal, so she could be older than him. So who's the president now?
Wait, she wouldn't though, because when she joined the Teen Titans, she was a teen.
I know. I was trying to work around a fix.
There's no fix there.
Yeah.
But,
Because legit, she was drawn as a teen. They want to, unless you're gonna say Amazon teens age differently.
Which would be.
I mean,
weird,
like
but-
physically age differently rather than actually age different. But yeah. Yeah.
That hurts my head.
Yeah.
That hurts my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And was he okay? Now, Roy Harper, they did give him They do give him try to give him a push sometimes, but they don't actually. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's a little bit of a. We'll give him some credibility, and then we just take it away. Where
Yeah.
I think was the Justice League. Okay, when did he take Red Arrow's name? When did he become?
It was after Infinite Crisis, so that's like 2006, 2007.
And why was Green Arrow not part of that?
He was a part of it.
So they had a guy on their team called Green Arrow, and another
he
guy
wasn't
on
part
their
of.
team
He
called
just didn't want to be Justice League anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember the whole thing. He left the teams. He left the Outsiders because he felt like he didn't want to do work in the dark anymore. You know, he wanted to be something his daughter could be proud of, if that makes any sense. And to come of age, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take on the family legacy and become Red Arrow.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's literally okay. Because there was a storyline in the Justice League where the Justice League got sent to the past, and they disappeared for a certain amount of time. And Batman had these protocols saying if the Justice League doesn't log into the towers or whatever, we need a new Justice League has to be set up for to take over for us. And then he came with some really odd team that had Zatanna in it, had Gorilla, and some other things, right? It had Nightwing as leader, which made sense. And then I would have thought, that's when you plug in Roy Harper to be the Green Arrow counterpart, but no, it clearly wasn't that.
When was that?
When was
so
that?
Familiar.
Yeah, that was when I believe Plastic Man was it. He got teleported into the past. Basically, everyone got teleported 1,000 years into the past or something like that. And Plastic Man had to. And when he got teleported back into the future, Plastic Man had to stay in the past. Or basically, Plastic Man had to live the long way around back into the future.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was, turned him nuts. And that probably explains why he is nuts,
Yeah.
But I think he was nuts beforehand, so.
Because I remember there was a time, I can't remember, it was a couple of years after Infinity War. Might have been, I know Dick Grayson was Batman.
Infinity War?
I'm going to say Infinite Crisis, sorry.
Yeah.
I know this is when Dick Grayson was Batman at the point where they made a new Justice League, sort of, I'll say. And it was Dick Grayson Batman, think Kong Gorilla, Mon-El Superman.
Oh, okay. No, you're okay. No, you're right. I'm thinking about. Okay, I think I mixed up Kong Gorilla. All right, I may have mixed up Kong Gorilla. Though in the Batman protocols, to be fair, was Zatanna also on this team?
I'm trying to remember because I collected it at the point.
If it is, then Batman is consistent with the people that he's choosing to be the secondary Justice League.
It could have been then.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll have a look, see if I can get the title of the thingamajig. But yeah. So it's like, okay, so you had a perfect chance to put Roy Harper in the Justice League at that point, but I don't know then.
But it's funny, the whole how he got his name Red Arrow is from, Kingdom Come.
Oh,
he's in that, and he's called Red Arrow, and that's like 1994. So I was surprised he waited like 12 years to go, hey.
1996, wasn't it?
Yeah, 96. All right, so wait 10 years, like, you know what? Let's call him Red Arrow now. Like, okay, you had ears to do this?
Okay. So the storyline is the Obsidian Age.
Yeah, that sounds right, yep. And I think
but that's
Jade
not the storyline you're thinking of.
No. Because I think Jade was a part of it as well. Or they was fighting Jade. Thingy's daughter.
Green Lantern's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Of the one that you're thinking of, yeah. But not the one I'm thinking of.
No. Oh, that was a good time. Good time. Yeah, so that was weird. Yeah, there's times where they've, like you said, they could have pushed him to be up there.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a perfect time when Dick Grayson was Batman. You could have brought him to be the Green Arrow counterpart.
Yeah.
Carl Rayner could have been their Green Lantern. Yeah, it's been timed, but then they just...
Yeah.
Either no one's been alive at the right time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
People tend to die and disappear and then come... Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. By the way, the storyline I was thinking was in 2002, and I do believe, yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I believe, yeah. So it was quite a odd team of mishmash people, by the way.
Yeah, who was on?
Because the Justice League were there but weren't there, and then some of the other counterparts were elsewhere and not. I mean, look, Green Arrow was in it. The Atom was in it. Probably Ryan Choi at this point. Might have been Ray Palmer, but no. Firestorm,
Okay.
Faith. I don't even know if you know who Faith is. I don't know.
Faith?
Yeah.
Nope.
Faith. No. Hawk Girl, Jason Blood, aka Etrigan,
Yeah.
and Major Disaster.
Okay, who ends up being a bad guy?
I don't know if he was a bad guy at this point, but then it was led by Nightwing.
What am
I don't know if it was
thinking
an
of?
alternate Major Disaster, because if I said Dr. Light, there's a good couple of Dr. Lights, and one of them was a good guy.
Yeah.
Though Major Disaster was a villain, and Atom beefed with him.
Am I thinking of Major? Is there someone called Major Pain? I don't know. I'm thinking of like there's a bad version of Captain Atom.
Yeah. Major. It might be Major Disaster, the guy who killed Carl Rayner's girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Yeah.
I don't know why then he'd be working with the Justice League. That makes no sense.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
Comics be weird. Like, remember when Captain Cole was a good guy and then he went bad?
No.
Explained.
Major Force.
That's it. Major
Was
Force.
the guy who killed
That's
Carl Rayner's
it.
girlfriend.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh.
So you were saying?
No, I was saying like how people flip flop and it's never explained why they flip flop back.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else do you want to know about Mr. Roy Harper?
Yeah, I think that's mostly what I know from him. The unfortunate, more controversial stuff.
But yeah, he's quite controversial.
Well, you know what? They don't. It's like, okay, it's just, I think it's similar to Nightwing where they. But Nightwing, okay, I'd say Nightwing has more prominence because he's much more distinguished from Batman. Even though they wear the same colors and they do the same sort of thing. He's like much more athletic, right?
Yeah.
His fighting style is different. He's got his screamer sticks, which distinguish him, and you know, he talks a lot more. He's got much more charisma.
Yeah.
And he's got you know, for a man, he's got the greatest glutes in the DC universe, right?
Yeah.
But if I said to you, okay, tell me what's different between Roy Harper and Green Arrow,
a lot,
and you'd be like, the color red.
No, but that's the thing. There actually is a lot, but people don't promote it enough. Like,
Yeah.
He's a master of weaponry. Like, he can use any gun.
Yeah.
He's basically a spy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a weapon expert. He used to be an athlete in school. Like, there's so much about him that makes him better than the Green Arrow, but
In certain ways, right?
nah, I'm not saying always. In all ways.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, when they choose to promote Green, like, okay, first of all, when you create, I want to say, if you introduce a character, you that's meant to be a legacy character or potentially psychic, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You don't mind taking bits of your current hero and adjusting them, right?
Yeah.
But to outright, basically, just take that hero and just de-age them. That's essentially what they did with Roy Harper until they were like, you know what, we should adjust him a bit more to distinguish him.
No, I wouldn't say he's just a de-aged version, because they have like totally different childhoods.
Oh no, I mean way back in the 40s.
Oh, even in the 40s, he's got like. Do you know his origin story?
Something about being a Red Indian.
Well, okay, sort of.
Yeah.
All right. His dad, Roy Harper Sr., was a forest ranger, and he basically died in a fire.
Yeah.
Saving these people in a forest fire, so he died. And then this Native American guy called Brave Bo took him in because he was friends with his dad and sort of taught him the lay of the land, how to be an archer and everything.
Yeah.
Then he died.
Yeah.
And then Roy was idolizing Green Arrow at the time, so this brave bow guy wrote to Green Arrow saying, if anything happens to me, could you
Wait,
take
wait,
in this
Green
kid?"
Arrow or Oliver Queen?
Green Arrow.
He just literally wrote a fan mail to Green Arrow.
Yeah, this is back then. Stuff made no sense.
Well, here's the thing, right? I can understand modern day if you like go to greenarrow.com.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
Okay, but back then, where are you gonna mail? Where are you gonna send that?
Exactly. I don't know. So yeah, so then he's like, "Oh yeah, if anything happens to me, could you look after this child? He's gifted in this. He's gifted, and you could probably do something good with him." So he dies. I think he gets murdered.
Okay.
And then Green Arrow takes him in, basically sort of like the Robin thing.
Yeah.
And I think they solve his murder.
Yeah.
And he becomes his sidekick. And so they're completely different.
Do they by the way just because it's back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Just simply wrap it up in one comic book.
More than likely, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, their stories are different because Green Arrow's story literally is he was a dick until he got
left on the island, right?
Yeah.
But you're telling me Roy Harper's origin was a rip-off of Robin's origin?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Everyone's origin's a rip-off of another person's origin. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any significant storylines you read with this guy other than the two we already mentioned, which is the drug storyline, which I don't know what they actually call that. But
it's
it was
called, I can tell you right now, it is called Snowbirds Don't Fly.
No, but is it like in the collection? I think it's in the Hard Traveling Heroes collection with Green Arrow and Green Lantern, right?
Yeah, but that's the story's name. Yeah.
and the Cry for Justice storyline. Other than that, what else would you recommend? That's okay. I don't want to say necessarily spotlight for Roy Harper, but I'm just saying a good story that he's in, right? Because sometimes you can have good stories, but the character we're speaking of is not actually the main character in it.
Yeah. I would say...
Or would you say, firstly, would you say it's harder to find a good story where he's actually, if not the lead, the co-lead?
Nah, well... It
Okay, the
depends how
story
far you want to go
revolves
back.
around him, yeah?
Well, it depends how far you want to go back. If you
Okay,
go
okay.
back to, like, the Titans from, like, the mid-90s, he's heavily involved in that.
Okay. But yeah, give me some good storylines. with this guy.
My personal ones would be if you read the last issues of Titans and Young Justice back in, I think it's 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good with him in it. That's which leads to the formation of Outsiders and the Teen Titans.
Okay.
The whole Outsider run where he's in it, that's pretty good because he's a main character in that.
Yeah. So I tell you what, when I was collecting that, I was like, right, I know who this guy was, right?
Yeah.
But he comes off so different now.
Yeah, he's grown up.
Well, no. So that it just seems to be a very like if you never told me this guy used to be Speedy slash. Well, he was Speedy into Arsenal at that point. It's like he could have just been Steve Trevor or some other character. He was nothing, you know.
Oh, for me at that point, I didn't know who Steve Trevor was, so it wouldn't make no.
Okay.
difference.
No, but he was just a guy with a spy guy, not a guy that used to use arrows.
Yeah. Which I kind of like. They kind of try to get him away from that for a bit. So I thought I kind of like that.
Okay.
Then, like you said,
But then Red Hood took his gimmick, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty well.
The Heroes of Gun gimmick.
Yeah, but Red Hood killed. Arsenal didn't
Yeah.
really kill, did he?
Yeah, but that's it. So at that point, Red Hood was kind of the more extreme version. As much as you try to make, okay, so you got Arsenal, right? And we're like, okay, we're gonna make him a bit more extreme than Green Arrow. He's gonna use guns, and then they later on they put Red Hood, which is the more extreme version of Arsenal. Just kind of made Arsenal redundant using guns.
Yeah, but I think by that time he went back to using arrows anyway. By the time Red Hood became a thing, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The brief time he was on Justice League, so that was like the 2007 run. He wasn't like a main character, but he was okay in that.
Yeah.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, I guess.
Well, which parts of that.
Near the later end of it, when Starfire left, and it was him, Jason, and Julie Dent. I think that would work. Joker's daughter.
Oh, Julie Dent. Yeah. The Joker's daughter, right?
Yeah, because he had more of a part in that, because he wasn't like really.
Did you read the issue where? So they tweaked the drug storyline, right? Made him an alcohol addict, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
And there was a pretty good issue where it was. I think he went to fight Killer Croc.
Yeah.
And Killer Croc's like beating him up, and he goes, "Why are you doing this?" You know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like Killer Croc's him like, "Why are you trying to attack me?"
Yeah.
You know. You can't. You're just a kid. You can't possibly defeat me. So what's the problem?
And you're
you
drunk.
Know, what's up? yeah. Exactly. So they become friends from that. You know, it's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's kind of cool. So every so often they just meet up to have a drink, but not like a
because Killer Croc's he's a counter buddy. I think that's what they're called. If you go to Alcoholics Anonymous,
And I thought, oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Cool.
You know,
I like that.
Kinda
I was
cool.
like, as weird and outlandish as it is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Then I would say from the new, come up to Rebirth. Titans Hunt. That's a good storyline with him in it.
Is that the one where Titans are okay? So the New 52 history of the Titans, they work out something. There's a problem here.
Yeah.
And there's missing gaps.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where Wally West starts coming back, right?
Yeah. And then the New 52... Rebirth Titans. He's in there. That's pretty good. And then... Don't bother touch Heroes in Crisis, because they kill him off panel as well, which is...
Yeah, not even in a good way, right?
No.
He's just dead. He just wanted there to die to make Wally West feel worse because he's one of Wally West's friends.
Yeah.
Why was he in that sanctuary to begin with, anyways?
I don't even know. But
Was
then
was it the drugs?
I think it was the alcohol thing. But then it's like, why did he need to go there? It just was sloppily handled.
Yeah.
And then there was I can't remember what actual comic's called. It was during Black Metal when that.
Dark
Metal. Dark Metal.
Death Metal, yeah?
Death Metal, yeah. Where it's got Roy Harper in it, and I think he's traveling from dimension to dimension.
All right.
And then that's resurrected him, if I remember correctly, because I haven't actually read Death Metal, have you?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
No, I haven't read it. But apparently Batman brings him back to life with the Black Lantern ring.
Oh, okay.
And when I think the universe resets or whatever, after it, he's being restored back to life. But he hasn't told anyone he's back alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in the DC universe at the moment, but not everyone doesn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See the point,
but is that original Roy Harper from the New 52, or you know how sometimes they get alternate versions of them, which are roughly the same in continuity, but not actually the same character?
It's his Rebirth / pre-52 version, because he has memories of everything.
Yeah. So okay. So it's meant to be the same character, right?
Yeah.
The same continuous character, not an alternate version.
No. But then it's like, why'd you kill him in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit convoluted, a bit like the same how Jason Todd got resurrected.
Yeah.
Which could have been handled very straightforward, but
yeah.
So what are they currently doing with Arsenal?
He's in the background somewhere.
Yeah, waiting for like what they did with Wally West, right? Where
pretty much.
Disappeared in the background and they're waiting for a good storyline to bring him. Oh no, they're waiting for a reason to bring him back. Yeah. Because Wally West came back and then they just kind of. Oh, Barry Allen's here. Wally West, you kind of just stay in the background a bit more. What was the point then? I mean, because at least when Wally came back, he could be in the Titans or some other titles, right?
Yeah.
Except that then they took him out of that.
Yeah.
To do the Sanctuary storyline. It's just like, well, yeah, okay. You're just trying to character assassinate our boy.
But isn't Wally in the Flash comics now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's afterwards, you know.
Yeah, no, I wasn't too sure because I picked up one randomly like months ago. Like, oh, this is Wally West. I'm
Yeah, but that's
confused.
because Barry Allen's got a transdimensional mission with the Justice League that goes a different set of Justice League characters, which are going like you know how you got the Spider-Verse characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the transdimensional Justice League or whatever they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to put Wally West forefront now if Barry Allen's going there.
Yeah, that makes
You know?
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what they're going to try and do with. Do you reckon they're going to try and do the the spy Arsenal thing again?
I don't know. I'm think because there isn't a a Green Arrow book at the moment, which is strange to me.
Yeah.
I think they're waiting for something to do that to bring Roy back and then put him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I reckon if the Green Arrow book was still around,
Yeah.
they might have done the same thing they're doing with Barry right now and thrown him somewhere else. So Roy would be.
Did you ever read when Connor Hawke and Roy Harper met?
No.
Okay, that's not what it was called, by the way, right? But there was a bit where they kind of bumped into. They were at the same area at the same time for some reason. It might have been the Justice League party. I don't know why. It was a casual setting, though, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of point out the major differences between them.
Yeah.
Like Roy, you're very like Ollie because you're just sleeping around and
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, yeah, you're very unlike us because you spent all your years in that monastery and stuff like. Yeah, a lot of differences.
A lot of differences.
Now we're
Yeah.
brothers.
yeah, exactly.
Because I know they get on, and apparently they see each other as brothers. So that's it.
Yeah, but when you got a lot to bond over, being that your dad's just whatever to you.
Yeah.
What about it? But then you got Oliver's actual other son.
Yeah, who no one knows where he is.
Yeah.
Speaking of like Connor Hawke, quickly, he's back in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's still Green Arrow's son.
Well, yeah, okay. I personally have not read that far yet.
Not even why, but it's just.
All I know is that, and this is way back because I haven't had time to catch up with certain things.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne is going to fight the League of Shadows, is it?
I think so.
Because it wasn't the League of Shadows, it was another one, right?
Yeah.
And then, Connor Hawke's there. What best way to kill a Robin than with a Hawk? That's the exact line they used.
Oh, okay, that's quite.
Yeah.
Level.
Yeah, and then so Damian Wayne's going to fight in some sort of tournament, and Connor Hawke's also fighting in that tournament.
Okay, that makes sense.
League of Lazarus. Yeah.
That's it. That makes
But I
sense.
don't know if he's. Oh, yeah, and he's meant to be the legitimate son of Oliver Queen. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool then.
All
I
right.
just didn't want
But
them to scrap that idea for some stupid reason.
yeah.
Because they tend to do that with certain things. Not just them, but other places do that. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, quickly talk about his film and TV things that he's been in. Roy Harper.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we said, he's been in Arrow for many years and seasons. He had a brief appearance in Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
And in the Teen Titans cartoon.
Yeah.
He is a member of the Young Justice cartoon, but he's very complicated because there's Roy Harper, who quote unquote died and was replaced by a clone.
Okay.
And then the clone found out he was a clone. And he found his clone, his original person they got the DNA from, who didn't age, so he was still a teenager, but he had a missing arm, so he has a robot arm, which is awesome.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And he still has a daughter, but it's not the original Roy's daughter, it's the clone Roy's daughter, who's changed his name to Will.
All right.
Yep.
So is one of these guys called Arsenal?
Yeah. So
And one of them was called Red Arrow.
Yep. So
Okay.
the clone is called Red Arrow.
Yeah.
The original Roy Harper who got his arm cut off and he's super angry now is Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were both Speedy to begin with.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Playing
It's
Target
great.
all over again.
Yeah. And then I reckon that we might see Roy Harper in Titans because they've mentioned him too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah.
I want a
So-
Titan version of him. He'd be amazing.
Wait,
I
was
just
he
swear.
in the? Okay, you're talking about Young. Wait. Were you talking about the Young Justice cartoon, right?
Yep.
But was he in the Teen Titans cartoon?
He made 2 cameos in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't a main character or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No. But that was an unnamed character. That was.
He's actually
Oh,
Arsenal.
okay.
Arsenal. It was actually Speedy.
Yeah. But they didn't call him Roy Harper, right?
No, but it's
So he
him
could have
who's got
been-
the
But then logically, it can only be
yeah.
Roy Harper because if it's a male Speedy, there's only one male Speedy.
Yep.
Just like how in that same Justice Teen Titans animated series where it's Dick Grayson that's Robin, but they don't say which Robin it is.
Yeah, until randomly they sort of say it's him.
Well, they say it's not Jason Todd.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they do a future episode where it's Nightwing, so like, yeah, it's definitely him then.
Yeah.
Because-
But then it's call him Dick Grayson. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
They
mind
call him
then.
the Nose Grad Kid, which is Dick Grayson reverse, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's so
okay,
clever.
whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all of my boy Roy Harper.
Yeah, I think. Look, do you reckon they could have done? Oh, hold on, no. The DC animated universe, right?
Yeah.
Was he not in much of that?
Oh yeah, he was again cameo. He was in Teen Titans Judas Contract
Yeah.
at the beginning for like 2 seconds.
Oh, what's the point?
And then in their last movie,
Apocalypse War.
yeah, he's in it, but he dies. He doesn't say anything
Yeah.
or anything.
Well, what's the point?
Yeah,
What's the point?
yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say about that.
yeah.
Yeah. No, are we okay? Are you saying that he has more potential than they allow him to have?
Yeah, he
Or-
does. To me personally, he does.
Yeah. But is it because of I want to say certain other things like the gun version of Arsenal is basically you could have Steve Trevor or Red Hood be that version, right?
Yeah.
The Arrow version of Roy Harper, you got Green Arrow, so you don't really need another version of him like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, would you say okay? Now I'm not forcing this upon you to say. I'm just saying that there's certain things that he has that other characters also have, and there's not enough to distinguish him because he needs more tweaks, or would you say it's kind of they just need to find him a good place where he can
Yeah.
thrive and part as part of the team? Because Green Arrow, Red Hood and the Outlaws, I think was a good concept. It just wasn't executed well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because you could have had a bunch of sidekicks that were disgruntled,
Yeah.
or not necessarily sidekicks, but that sort of thing. And they're like, yeah, well, you know what? We're band together because we have each other, even though no one else, everyone else hates us,
Yeah.
especially our mentors, right? And we're just going around doing hero things as we do.
Yeah.
We just the outsiders, quote unquote, but not.
Gritty, edgy, murderous time. Yeah.
No, let's do that. Just a bit more like, we're just gonna do what we do and have fun doing it because
Yeah.
no one likes us but ourselves.
Yeah. I could have done a bit better. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves more.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah.
That's like we said before, a lot of those sort of original sidekicks deserve a lot better in comics than they are currently getting, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean, look, Wally West is probably the peak of a good sidekick transition. And
Yeah.
Nightwing is probably up there also, except that then he can't ever be Batman because Bruce Wayne's always Batman.
Yeah, and I personally think now as well, him being Batman's sort of a demotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they built the Nightwing brand so much, it'd be kind of silly for him to go that way.
Because that just makes him proper be like not a Batman wannabe.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's different enough. Like you're saying, to be something else. And I think that they've done that well with Red Hood as well.
Yeah.
He's like not the anti-Batman, but the more lethal the lethal protector version of Batman.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm glad they've toned him down rather than what he was before.
Yeah. But they need to give Green Arrow a bit more. Red Arrow a bit more. I know they tried to make him different, but then they kind of transitioned him back.
Yeah.
Because did it go too far being different? I don't know what the thought process was.
Just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's in that awkward place where he could, I suppose.
He's always on that cusp that they could do something with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been around for so long. If you said, the comic book character Roy Harper, right?
Yeah.
Because he changed his name a good couple of times, right? I don't think many people would randomly know who Roy Harper is.
No.
Even if you said Speedy, people probably would be like, huh?
I think they probably know. If you said Red Arrow, they're probably, he's got something to do with Green Arrow, right?
Yeah,
way more the
exactly. And if
connection
you said
there.
Arsenal,
Yeah. Like what?
then
the
people would
football
be
team?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Probably from
Arsenal's
the
a cool
TV
name.
series, they'd probably get it.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, did you know? What did you think of how he got his name in the TV series?
Wait, how did he get his name in TV series?
He was fighting. I can't remember. It might have been Michael J. White's Bronze Tiger or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Right? He was assisting in a fight somewhere, and then he goes and in his red costume, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
And he goes and Bronze Tiger. I want to say it's Bronze Tiger. I don't know if it was right.
Probably was, because if it's Michael J. White, then yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I don't know if it was the character. I know
Okay.
Michael J. White was the Bronze Tiger, but I don't know if it was the character they were fighting. Anyway, he goes, do you think you're your own man? No, you're you're nothing. You're just another jabroni for him. You're another quib in his arsenal, something like that. A bone in his arsenal, whatever. And that's how he got the name Arsenal.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, fair enough. It kind of makes sense-ish, but
Yeah. Kind
it's
of.
not so convoluted that you're like, all right.
Yeah.
This guy was trying to dig at him, and then he got his name from that. I was like, fair enough.
Because like his comic book version kind of makes more sense because he had like an arsenal of weapons that he would use. So.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
see, I think that gimmick was kind of made him more away from Green Arrow, except that we're talking about the horrible purple costume that he was having.
Yeah.
And I don't know specifically. Yeah. What I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, he could. He has potential.
Yeah.
I don't think they just kind of push him enough.
No, they don't. They have no faith in the man.
I think it's more like they've got to give him more distinguishing features ish. I don't know.
Probably
Maybe
add more
a
to the
good
character.
look. He could do well in a team book with. I don't think he'd carry a solo title.
No,
right?
he couldn't. I don't think he could.
But definitely a team book with Jason Todd and whoever, right? That kind of makes sense for where he's at.
Yeah. Or even if he went back to a team book with like the Titans and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It would work.
Yeah. He's good in the team books.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately not strong enough to carry a title by himself is where we're getting at. But that's fine.
Not many people are nowadays, so it's not.
Well, you know
I'm
what?
not
Nowadays, not even Tim Drake has his own Robin title, so you know, can you say?
Exactly. And he was one of the people who had the longest running solo title as well, so that makes it even more crazier.
What, Tim Drake's?
Yeah. When he was Robin. So I read that somewhere. I was like, oh, that's cool. But it sucks at the same time because they don't do nothing with it anymore. But yeah, all right. So I guess this is it. We wrap this up. Help my boy get TV time and comic time by writing to DC complaining.
yeah, and then shaft him as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, sometimes you know when they give people the push, like Ryan Choi, and then they do what they do to put Ray Palmer back in the hot seat, and you're like,
sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay. Well, if that's the case,
we're
we're signing off. I have been the knockoff Green Arrow, you might as well say, Carl Charles.
Yeah, and I'm the druggie got thrown up my own house by my adopted dad, C.Y. Chong.
And let us know if you're a fan of Mr. Harper and his misadventures throughout the years, battling drugs, sex addiction, all that stuff.
I don't think he did have that. Did he have? No, you know what?
Didn't.
They could have, but they could have done something like okay. So Outsiders was an edgy enough title when they were doing it with Roy Harper and Nightwing, right?
Yeah.
They could have went to that.
They could have.
Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, like, Roy, you got a problem. You know?
And it's not the drink. Yeah.
yeah. All the drugs.
It's,
you know?
You can't keep it in your pants.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would have been as blatant as that, but it could have actually worked into as something rather than make it a joke.
Yeah, because it is a real thing. It is a real thing, so, you know.
Yeah.
Let us know. And if
by the way, this is the same. And if the people are going to say, "Yo, that's probably not the place we're going to do that in comics," well, it's one of the Speedies was HIV positive.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And used to be a hooker, so
yeah,
you know.
So do it wherever they like.
Yeah.
Yes. So let us know. Don't forget to like the social media pages, like our Instagram or Twitter. Our YouTube channel, and we will be back soon with another episode. And I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
While I was on ice, you found another Roy Harper, the sidekicks formed their own team, aliens invaded the Earth, and Ollie grew that dopey goatee? We try not to call ourselves sidekicks.
You don't like the goatee?
So missing the point!